So I wanted to talk a minute about government aid that's given to either other countries or private corporations and companies in the United States, and how this results in the potential for all sorts of kickbacks that end up enriching the establishment class politicians that end up being there for decades. This is one of the huge problems with our country. We need to have term limits or something like this that would help stymie this, but we need investigations into every dime we spend when we're giving to a company or we're giving to another country, exactly where is that money going, and ensuring that there's no money coming back from those countries or groups that are benefiting the immediate family or the businesses or the charities of the groups that are sending that money. So for example, there's been reports, and I haven't really got to look into it, but there's claims that even as far back as 2014, 2015, there were allegations that as increasing aid went to the new Ukrainian government, more money was given from the Ukrainian government and people living there to the Clinton Foundation. We know that we have energy deals and all sorts of money for the energy program that was sent from the U.S. government under Obama that went to the Ukraine. And as a result, people like John Kerry's son, people like Joe Biden's son ended up getting cushy jobs on energy boards like Burisma, where they were getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for work that they weren't qualified to do. But we even see it on a domestic level. So, for example, we see that hundreds of millions of dollars of your tax dollars goes to organizations like Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood just announced they're going to spend $45 million campaigning for pro-Planned Parenthood companies. And it's not just with them. This happens with other organizations that we end up as taxpayers funding. They end up then use that money to benefit the politicians that voted to fund them in the first place with our tax dollars. So whether it be overseas or it be domestically with companies like Planned Parenthood, this is a recurring problem. How else do you explain someone like Nancy Pelosi, who's making what, a couple $100,000 a year as a member of Congress, but she ends up being worth hundreds of millions of dollars after she's been there for 3 or 4 decades. This occurs over and over again, and this shows that there is a flippant abuse of our taxpayer dollars. There are veterans that don't have health care. We have an opioid crisis. We have homeless crisis. All sorts of things that this money could be being spent on. But instead, we're sending this money overseas. We're giving it to organizations, and many times it's receiving kickbacks that are coming back either personally to the charities or to the campaigns of the candidates voting for it, or to their family members. You could even see the propaganda when it comes to the impeachment testimony in Ukraine. Every single State Department witness said, oh, we have to send this money. It would be horribly corrupt not to send this money. The Democrats' case is, how dare Trump not want to send this money? They sent $1 billion under Obama. They wanted to send hundreds of millions of more under Trump. Why are we sending money so basically the Ukraine could fight a proxy war with Russia? How does that benefit us? Well, the people it does benefit are the politicians who have family members or business interests that are then receiving kickbacks from people in the Ukraine. And this occurs in countries all around the world where we're giving this foreign aid. It is time for our government to stop caring about foreign interests and about lining their own pocketbooks and about protecting our money. Remember, even under Trump, one of the terrible things under him has been the continuing soaring of the national deficit. We will pay that someday. Our children will pay that someday. It's going to bankrupt us. And instead of helping our people out, instead of helping our country out, instead of spending responsibly and balancing a budget, we're giving money to all these companies and corporations in other countries so that it can be kicked back to enrich our politicians. Hey, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. There's a link in the description how you can support me on PayPal or Patreon and how you can follow me on BitChute and Twitter. So thanks everyone and have a good one.